Hello, friends. I hope you all are having an amazing day so far. I know I am. I am super excited to dive into my tech tool of StudyJams. Before we do, I want to do a little introduction on what it is. So, did you ever go to the Scholastic Book Fair growing up? Because I know I did, and I spent way too much money on the little erasers and little light up pens. If you didn't get to go to the book fair or you didn't have the book fair at your school, you're really missing out because the Scholastic Book Fair was the best. But this does relate to StudyJams because it is a website by the same Scholastic that put on the book fairs. So that's a little background on it. It is a website that has a ton of different options for math and science specifically. Really just thousands and thousands of topics under the math and science portion that can be dove into for students K through 12. There are some lower levels. I probably wouldn't say K, but second probably to 12th grade. There's some lower level things, but there's also some higher level things. It can go all the way from simple addition all the way up to geometry and algebra. So we're going to dive into the homepage and I'm going to just tell you all about this amazing tech tool of StudyJams. So first up on our homepage, if you see this little window thing that keeps changing, it's just filtering through the different things that StudyJams has to offer. These would be like the most popular things that are going on right now. As you can see, this one is just telling us about the water cycle. When you click on these, it will take you to the section on this one specifically will take us to the water cycle, but we'll dive more into those later and what all that has to offer. But this little window, yeah, it just goes through the different popular things, the karaoke, divisibility rules, invertebrates. So you can just click on any of those if you really didn't know what section you were wanting to go to and one of those caught your eye. That's a great time for you to just click on that and really just to learn something that you didn't know before getting on. At the bottom down here, there is a section of Did You Know, Hot Topic, and Most Popular, and these can change, but the Did You Know right now is you can find over 200 jams on topics like the universe, listen to songs about landforms, and test yourself on concepts like range. So we will dive deeper into that later, but on StudyJams there is, like I said, so many topics, but there's songs, karaoke, test, step-by-steps, so many things. So that's a really good Did You Know. Hot topic is carbon is found in every living thing. Want to know how it gets there? Check it out. So that's telling us that carbon is a topic covered on StudyJams. And that's just a little fun thing. Again, if you didn't know what you were wanting to read about and that caught your eye, you could just click on it and go to that section. And then it also gives you a section for most popular. I think this is just a really good way to open up StudyJams, especially because it's really easy to understand. Students would catch on to this so easy, especially with how talented they are in the technology field nowadays. This would be something for them to really just grasp onto and dive in. But the coolest feature on, or to me, the coolest feature on StudyJams, the homepage, is the Visit the Crew tab. So I like the Visit the Crew tab because I feel like it is a great way for students to really connect to the website and especially the characters that are going to show up throughout every lesson on the StudyJams page. So it just gives a brief summary over here about Meet the Crew and how they came about. But you can click on the characters and it'll give you just a little update on their life and how it's going over the past year. So that's here, the What's New. It starts in October and just carries on. So this is RJ, and it tells us a little bit about him. It tells us that he's 14, tells us about his family, the sports he likes, his favorite things. And it does the same for Sam, Zoe, and Mia. And I just think that's a great way for students to connect. It does a really diverse group. Like RJ likes sports, Mia likes technology, Zoe likes music, and Sam seems to really like science. So that's just a way for students to connect with people that are like them. And I think that will also help them pay better attention when they're going through the videos and stuff because they can be like, oh, RJ, I connect to him because I like basketball too. I'm going to listen to what he has to say, especially those younger grades. They'd really connect to these people. Okay, so that is all that the home page has to offer for us, but let's dive a little deeper into these two other tabs up here of math and science. So first up, we will click on the math section. When you click on the math section, it's going to bring you up to just a page, and this one page covers all the math topics that StudyJams has to offer. So you can click here and it says see all topics. StudyJams covers numbers, multiplication and division, decimals and percents, geometry, data analysis, problem solving, addition and subtraction, fractions, algebra, measurement, and probability. If you click on these, it's just going to take you to the little filter through thing right here that has it, but you can also just click through. And when you click through, you can see all of the different sections that fall under algebra or all the other things. Let's go to measurement and let's go to tell time. So when you click on that little tab at the bottom, it is going to bring you to a section that's all about how to tell time. It's going to give you a brief little summary. It's going to say, this one for tell time says, there's a lot to keep track of when you're telling time. The shorthand, the longhand, not to mention all those pesky phrases. So for this one specifically, it has a step-by-step. This little button can be different for all of them. Some of them have just a video button. Some have the step-by-step. I'll show you some that are different in just a few minutes. Most of the lessons on here have karaoke to go along with them. Some of them do not, but every single one of them have a test. I'll click on all three of those buttons in just a minute, but right now let's dive into the key vocabulary at the bottom. So for the tell time, it has 4 vocabulary words, but when you click on them, it will bring up the definition underneath it, and that will be a great way for students to just review their vocabulary right there. Also at the bottom of the page, it's going to give you the option to see all related jams, and it's going to pull up everything that's related. Like I said, there are so many topics on StudyJams that can be explored. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the step-by-step button. Let me make sure I'm muted. It goes right in, and it gives us a problem that one of the characters from the beginning is trying to solve, and then if we're down here at the bottom, you can see it goes to step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and then the answer. And that's going to take the students along and help them feel like they're helping Mia solve her problem on telling time. And you can click show me, and it will show the students whatever the topic is and what it's talking about. This one specifically is showing the hour hand and the minute hand right now. You can also go back if the students happen to miss something, just click previous, next. Up at the top, it has watch out, and this is just going to be another problem that's going to pop up, or different phrases that the students might hear that might confuse them. This could be different for all of them. And then it's also going to give you the try it portion where it does just a short little section, and you can just click your answer, and there's multiple try it's for each one. That's great. Also up here at the top, there's a little print button. So when you click that print button, it's going to take that step by step. And here is the specific try it portion. This could be something that you would pull and put on a test of yours if you knew it was a problem that was really similar and that students could relate to. So let's go back. I'm going to go back to home. Let me go ahead and click this back button up here. Let's see if it'll bring me back. Let me get back to the measurement section and the tell time so I can show you the karaoke, which is my all-time favorite thing about this whole entire tech tool. So I click on the karaoke. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. But you have the option to choose whether the vocals are on or the vocals are off. So if your students are kind of shy and they need that little push to get them to singing along, you can turn the vocals on. But if they're really just jamming with it, turn those vocals off and let them go at it. It also lights up as the word's supposed to be said, so it's really easy to follow along, especially for the older grades. This also gives the option to print lyrics. For every section that you click on, it's going to give you a print option. Um, that would be great for students to take home if they were tasked with learning the song, if it was something really catchy and something they could apply throughout the rest of their life. So I'm going to click close right here. And then there's also a test yourself. This is a button that pops up on all of the different topics for StudyJam. So I'm just going to go through. This is also one of my favorite parts. So you could use this as an assessment in your classroom. I think that would be great, especially just a quick little recap on what the students have learned. So I just went through and clicked. I got every one of the tests has 7 questions. So on the telling time quiz, I got 2 of the 7 questions correctly. It automatically grades it. I made a 28. But my favorite part is down here it says review your answers, and you can click on that little button and it will give automatic feedback just like it automatically grades it on every single question. So this question was, what does a smaller hand on the clock tell you? I chose the minute, but it's actually the hour. So I can click here on feedback and it says the smaller hand is the hour hand. It does not tell you if the hour is in the morning or not. So that's automatic feedback, and it does it for every question, no matter if you got it right or wrong. And I just think that's amazing because feedback's so important for young minds, and especially automatic feedback, because if you wait 3 days to tell them, they're going to forget what they were learning about anyway. So that automatic feedback really helps for what they're learning about on StudyJams to just stick with them. So let's go ahead and move on to the science portion. I hope you've seen, I'll click back on the math and just do a little recap on all of this. There's so many things available and there's so many different sections. Test yourself, step by step, karaoke. It's just a really amazing thing, especially because I feel like we kind of don't get a lot of tools that have math in them, and especially ones that are interactive and have automatic quizzes. So this is just like a freebie, I feel like, as a teacher, especially if your students wanted free time. They're still learning on this website, but it feels like they aren't because of all the singing and videos. But now that we've moved on to science, I just clicked on this tab up here and clicked on the science tab. We'll click on see all topics. The topics that StudyJams covers for science are plants, the human body, landforms, rocks and minerals, solar system, force and motion, scientific inquiry, animals, ecosystem, weather and climate, matter, energy, light, and sound. So just as with the math, you can click on whatever you want to go to, or you can slide through and see all the amazing options that are offered underneath. As you can tell, there are a ton for the human body. But I'm going to go back to plants, and we are going to click on photosynthesis. I'd also like to cover real fast before I click on that each of these have a brief little summary about what that section teaches on. For photosynthesis, it says when people get hungry, they go to a restaurant or their refrigerator. Not plants. They make their own food using photosynthesis. So that's just a little recap on what photosynthesis is, and that could gauge a child's attention, and they could say, what does a plant eat? So then they would go into photosynthesis. So photosynthesis, it gives just a brief little summary right here again. It has that key vocabulary that we seen earlier, just like every section is. Chlorophyll is the green pigment in plants that captures the light energy used in photosynthesis. So this section specifically has a play video. So when I click on that video, it just pulls up a short little 3-minute video. Most of them are super short, and it will use those characters. There's RJ right there from the Meet the Crew section in the beginning, and it will pose a problem, and then it will go into solving it most of the time with the knowledge of the section that we're covering. For this one, it would be photosynthesis. So that little video is really fun to watch. This one also has karaoke. I found that most of them do. So the same thing for this one. You have the option to vocals on, off, print the lyrics, same thing as for the math one. And then same thing for the test yourself section. It's all the same. At the bottom, you can click on see all related jams. and that is all the ones that are related to photosynthesis. So it really just covers all of the same things. When I click print up here, I think this is going to give me the option to, yeah, this gives us the option to print the key vocabulary, and there is all of the related articles. So if you had a teacher friend that was struggling to find things related to photosynthesis, you might go print this for her and be like, here are some great articles that are on StudyJams that are related to that topic. So let me go back to science and let's pick one more topic to just really look at and just dive deeper again into, let's do food chains into StudyJams. So here's another one. This one does not have the karaoke, but it does have more vocabulary than the others. So this one again has the video and the test yourself just like all the others. See all related jams. I would just really like to point out how they're all very similar, so students are able to really just, when they learn how to use one of them, they're going to be able to move from photosynthesis to invertebrates super fast and really catch on. This one has a slideshow. So the slideshow gives information about each of the pictures that it shows, and you can just click through it. So we've seen that this StudyJams has to offer slideshows, step-by-steps, karaoke, videos, test questions, stuff you can print, and it's really kid-friendly. So you can click print here, and it is actually going to print the different sections of the slideshow for you. So that is pretty amazing, especially if you needed something quick for students to just read over. At the end of the day, you could say, here's a little recap on something that we covered today, and if you covered invertebrates, give them this little sheet, and they could read over it and gain more knowledge. So that is about all that StudyJams has to offer. I hope that y'all really enjoyed it and learned a lot from this little tutorial on how to use it, and that you will use it in your future classrooms, because I know I definitely will. If you get the opportunity, I encourage you to go in and play around with it. I've played around with it and it's been really fun, so I can't imagine how fun it will be for students. But especially if you like math and science like me, this would be great.